Dead. That is the first patch of blue sky that I've seen in the past 2 days. I think it's a good sign. We're gonna gulp down our coffee and get out there because we are itching to go hunt. We've had 2 days of basically inactivity, complete write-off in terms of hunting. It's been pouring with rain non-stop, but now rain has stopped. I'm seeing some blue in the sky, and the moment the sun hits the top of those trees, monkeys everywhere. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So let's get out and see what we can do.
After so much rain, the rivers are flowing and we have high hopes that the animals will be out and about after being huddled up in their holes over the past few days. We head down to the valley and stop off opposite a cliffside, hoping to spot some monkeys or dassies in the rocks or bushes on the other side. Sure enough, a dassie presents itself and I range it at 120 yards. This shot gives me the opportunity to try the long MDT triple pull skypod for the first time as I take a sitting shot.
Whew. Awesome. Yeah, managed to get a dassie down there, 120 meters, 120 yards, so 3.63 mils is what the rangefinder told me, and the rangefinder is always right. It takes the angle into account. There's no wind this morning, so don't have to worry about that. You'll remember when I went to Utah a couple months ago, MDT sent me 2 skypods. One of them which I'm using for the PRS matches, and then there's this one which is the triple pull. So basically the legs extend to 3 lengths. I can then get 3 different widths as well, which is really cool, because if I put this out like that, now it's low enough to shoot prone with, and I can actually lie down and shoot prone. It's not often that you get a bipod you can shoot prone with and you can sit down with. It's a bit kind of long and heavy for most shooting, but for stuff like this where you're hunting and you often need to get above the grass line, it's absolutely awesome. Have to get that dassie down. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Monkeys right here, probably 80 meters away, right in this tree here. That happened really quick, managed to blitz one off the top. There's a monkey down there. Okay, I see them there. I'm recording, yep, I'm recording. No, I can't. I'm gonna try to get a 2 in 1 here. Got one. Another one there. There you go, guys, a couple more monkeys. That was awesome. It's about 150 yards. Didn't have time to range or dial or anything, but because this gun shoots so flat, I could just hold dead on. Blitzed one of them, and then another one came and stood next to it and kind of sat up like this. Blitzed him too. Yeah, very cool. I can see them sitting next to each other there on the ground. It's going to be very hard for us to retrieve them because the road in there enters far up there, and I think it's going to be extremely muddy and slippery after all this rain. But yeah, good to get those 2 down.
Vervet monkeys are very good at vanishing into the thick bush, but this morning they clearly have food on their minds as they're letting their guard down a little bit more than usual. I just pulled a shot, unfortunately.
Oh man, got a shot at a monkey there in a tree. At first its butt was facing me. I could have easily done a Texas hard shot and probably put him down humanely, but I tend to avoid doing stuff like that on camera just because it sets a bad example for people who maybe don't have a gun with as much power as this. So I waited for it to turn its head to me, and I think I just pulled the shot. It was really awkward. I was trying to thread the bullet through the fence here. If you hit a fence line and it breaks, then you've got to repair it. So just all those extra things in my mind, and unfortunately just pulled it and missed him. But let's keep on going. It seems like the sun wants to peek out, the monkeys want to peek out, so I have a feeling we're going to have a really good day.
So far this morning, all of our hunting has been done in wild bush. But as we make our way down to the cultivated lands on the neighbour's property, the stakes become even higher. The monkeys in this area do extensive crop damage, emerging from the mountains or riverside thickets on short raiding trips, filling their hands and mouths with crops, and then scurrying back into the bush. We notice one cliffside in particular that they seem to enjoy launching their raids from, so armed with the element of surprise, I slowly sneak up onto the fence line and manage to catch this monkey in the act.
Well, we've seen a couple monkeys over here over the past few days, well, prior to the rain, so we knew we'd stand a good chance if we drove past here. These are the sort of irrigated lands, and the monkeys love to come down the mountains and raid them. You'll see whole troops of monkeys pulling up crops and all kinds of things. The monkey ran across the field, and I was able to just put this big chunky sandbag right here next to the solid pole. Yeah, absolutely blitzed him. I think we should hop over and I can see if I can find him quickly, but awesome to get that down. Good stuff. Yeah, so here you can see the mealies that the monkeys have basically stolen. They carry them out here, they eat them, and then they run back to their homes up in the mountains there. And they've obviously got to cross this field to get to the corn. And that is why monkeys are a problem, and that is why we shoot them without any remorse. Well, there he is, first one that we've been able to retrieve today. I think I shot him in the chest area with the 22-50, and yeah, these bullets are pretty amazing. They make a big entry wound over there, absolutely no exit. So that 50 grain bullet just vaporizes the moment it hits something. It makes it really kind of safe to shoot with, because you don't have to worry about a bullet penetrating and just carrying on for kilometers. The moment it hits anything, whether it's a rock or a little piece of grass or a plant or a branch, it vaporizes. Perfect for this kind of thing. So glad we got this one down. There are a couple more down here, so maybe we'll just wait out and see if we can get a chance on them. But yeah, monkey number 4, I think it was. Awesome.
I decide to move towards the cliffside where the rest of the troop had disappeared, and sure enough, looking over the edge, I see a naughty face staring right back at me.
So got another shot at a monkey there, probably 150 meters away, but unfortunately the only place high enough to shoot from right here is the fence, and this fence is really difficult to get stable on. I actually don't know whether I hit him or not. We'll have to check the footage. I don't think I did, didn't sound like it, but yeah, you never know.
Again, I get another shot of redemption, and once more, I seem to just pull it at the last second.
Oh, I see him. I see a monkey. Just check how far that is. 150. Terrible place to shoot from. Try from that one there. If I miss that one, I'll be really angry with myself. I might have pulled it to the right again. 3rd time in a row. Terrible place to shoot from. Oh man, I need to work on my standing shooting or kneeling.
Looking at the footage, you can see that I didn't actually pull the shot. The bullet just hit the branch directly in front of him. Lucky monkey. But eventually, everyone's luck runs out.
They're in that tree there. And then we'll poke up now. There you go. Dead. Awesome to get some airtime with the 22-50 again. I honestly don't think I loaded enough ammo for this gun. I just loaded like 50 rounds or something, but yeah, the rate we're going through them now, I think we're going to run out pretty quickly. And they just keep coming. Oh my goodness. I've already gone through the magazine that was in and some of these that were sitting over here, so it's time to restock, I think, on ammo. Things are everywhere. I think for the last few days they haven't wanted to go out and eat because of the cold, rainy conditions. Now suddenly they're waking up and they're thinking, damn, I'm hungry, I need to go get some food, need to go steal some crops from the farmers. So they've run across, they've come out here to grab some mealies and stuff like that, and we are absolutely smashing them here.
As you can see, today has turned out to be a stunner, with the sun just starting to warm everything up, and very little wind to speak of. Time to get some trigger time with the airguns.
So we're actually standing right now in between a group of monkeys that's been separated. They kind of ran in two different directions when we took the first shot. And we shot a couple this side, shot a couple that side, but now the troop on this side, which wants to move back up the mountains, is kind of waiting for one or two stragglers on this side to join them. And these ones are just sitting waiting for us to move. So that puts us in a really good position because these guys don't want to go that way and these guys don't want to go that way, and all we have to do is wait. So we maybe give it a minute or two here. If nothing shows up, we'll pack up and we'll move on, and maybe on the way back we'll get an opportunity yet.
As we move further into the farmlands, we are treated to the rare sight of a group of bat-eared foxes scurrying across a field. These animals are the only insectivores in the canid family, using those big ears of theirs to listen for termites underground. Because they don't kill livestock and game like their bloodthirsty cousins, the blackback jackals, they aren't bothered by farmers. And what a treat to see them out here. In the next field, however, we do find one of our target species, the Egyptian goose, and I line up for a long shot with the Panthera.
Egyptian goose there, actually pretty far. At a dial 4.3 mils. Wasn't a perfect shot. I think I actually hit a little bit low. But yeah, he waddled off a bit, crashed, and he's down. So probably a heart and lung shot. Looked like he just ran out of steam and pegged over. So we're going to take a walk and see if we can get him. This is a pretty, not a great eating bird. It's not a chicken by any means. But the farm workers will be very happy to eat this. The breast on a goose it's quite dark, so if you cook it like a steak, it can be quite nice. Tell you what, you don't realize how far the shot is until you have to go fetch the animal. Especially when the mud is just caking to your feet like this, makes my feet really heavy. Feels like I've just run a marathon.
Up ahead we see the welcoming sight of a large pile of loose boulders scattered along the hillside. Why so welcoming? Well, rocks like this almost always mean an abundance of rock hyrax, locally known as Dassies. These small mammals live in holes between the rocks, leaving only to sun themselves and to seek out food and water. The farm workers happen to love Dassie meat, so we always make the effort to shoot a few to take back home to them for dinner. And today we're about to stumble upon the motherlode. We are of course shooting 40 grain Patriot Javelin Gen 2 slugs at around 1000 feet per second out of the Panthera. And as you can see, the results are pretty explosive, with the hydraulic shock from that hollow point blowing the eyeballs right out of their sockets.
Oh, smacked him. He flew straight back.
Nice.
One shot, he's gone.
Well done.
That was really nice.
Nicole makes this one count too, knocking it backwards like a scene from an old western movie. Nicole spots another one just watching us, and I line up for another shot.
Oof, perfect. This Panthera has shown itself to be the perfect tripod hunting gun. I still think the impact is better. I've said it before, I still think the impact is better for kind of general all-purpose hunting because it's an easier gun to shoulder offhand. It's easy to walk around with, more shots per fill. But when it comes to sitting in a place like this, sliding something onto an arca rail, you can see I can slide this thing wherever I want. And I personally like to take standing shots of a tripod, or sitting where I can put the rear of the gun sort of on my knee. But for stuff like this where we're shooting pretty close, standing works very well. So I'm very happy.
As for a scope, we are using the relatively new to the market Element Nexus Gen 2, which has a magnification range of 4 to 25. Very, very versatile. When hunting Dassies, you can find your target on 4 times and then zoom in when you're ready to take a shot to get all that detail.
Oh, smashed. Oh, he down. It's quite cool getting to spot them because they're moving quite quickly, so you have to like be on it. I think these ones are a little bit more aware of us here than last time we were here, so we've got to be quick.
There are plenty more Dassies out and about, but being a food source for the farm workers, our goal isn't to eradicate them entirely, and therefore we choose to leave a healthy population behind for next time.
Right, it's the first target down over here. I see a couple more over here. Another one. And another one. This one was hit a little bit low, but yeah, got him down. Now there was a fourth, we just have to find him. Might take a bit of work, but we'll get him eventually, I'm sure. Just some perspective here. That's who we were shooting from. And there's our Dassies. And I thought we'd never find him, but there you go. Here's number 4. Awesome. Another headshot, blood coming out of the ears. Very cool. Everything is very slippery, so I'm gonna have to be careful. I can't take credit for all of them because Nicole actually shot 2 of them, so well done, Nicole. But I've got to be honest, this gun makes it almost too easy. It's a bit of a joke. You put the crosshairs where you want it, you touch the trigger on the tripod, and it doesn't move. The tripod's super solid. I'll run you through the setup quickly because I haven't spoken about it yet in this video, but FX Panthera, standard power. I haven't added any high power kits or fancy probes or anything like that. It's stock standard. I'm shooting 40 grain javelins at 990 feet per second at 160 bar reg pressure. I've got the Saber Tactical fore-end over here, which is really cool because it's got a bunch of weight on it already, so I don't need a ton of weights in the front. On top, Nexus Gen 2, 4 to 25 by 50. It's an awesome upgrade to the standard Nexus. It's basically got Thieves turrets on top. It's got the same zero stop system, the same revolution indicator, capped windage, same push button illumination, chunkier turrets, chunkier parallax, and obviously that extra magnification, 25 times and 4 times, which is, I think, the most versatile magnification range you can get for sort of a crossover scope, PRS and hunting put together. And then this is basically a standard FX modular silencer that you get for like an impact or whatever. I've just taken out the middle part to just have these two, and as you can hear, it's actually really quiet. So awesome setup, and it's done the job for us today. Day's not even over yet. Sun is coming out again, so let's get back to work, shall we? It's one good reason to get a roof rack.
There's no time for a break though, as we are straight back in the action as we see a baboon crossing the field with a mouthful of corn. Unfortunately, I underestimate the range and shoot right under him.
This field does not look that big. It looks like it's probably about 100 yards to the middle and maybe another 100 to the back, so maybe 200 yards max. When I range it now, it's about 400 yards to the end of the field, which, you know, that's a good 1.5 mil. So I think that shot was just dropping low. It's a real pity because that animal was prime for the taking. Should have taken just a few seconds to range him and we might have got him.
At this point, Nicole and I are getting pretty hungry and start to make our way back towards the Oxwagon camp for lunch. But on the way, we spot yet more monkeys, and I can't help but to pull out the Panthera again.
Whole troop of monkeys, big troop of monkeys. But they're just too deep in the bush. To try and go after them now is useless. Keep going.
I get a split-second opportunity here, but I really screw it up. just pulling the trigger way too late.
Well, I'll be the very first to admit that was a terrible shot on my part. I was trying to get focus and spent a bit too long getting focus, and by the time he started moving down I kind of hesitated, should I not, and I pulled the trigger and hit him way too low. But that being said, there's the pole that he was sitting on. He only made it about 5 meters and he found him dead in a big pile of blood, which goes to show that these javelins definitely are able to do the job in terms of just raw concussive damage to the tissue. Not the way we wanted it to go. Obviously you want to get good headshots, good humane headshots, or if anything, heart and lung shots. This would be negative points if you were shooting a SA Hunters match or something. But any monkey down, I guess, is a good thing. This guy's been in the wars, as he's got all scratched up. He's probably one of the males that's been fighting for dominance, but he's not going to be fighting for dominance anymore.
I get an amazing opportunity to smoke another monkey, but as I take the shot I realise that I'd forgotten to dial back my turret from an earlier shot, and I watch the slug sail about 2 mils high. That's what monkey fever does to you.
Well, we've had an absolutely epic morning. It's now 1:45, so we're going to call it there for now. We're going to head back to the camp, get some cooking stuff sorted, and maybe go make some lunch somewhere, and then maybe go camping tonight. We'll see what the weather looks like, but for sure we're going to have a nice braai tonight, some pork rashers on the braai, play around with some new recipes for starters maybe, and just see what happens. Have a good time. Well, we're having lunch a little bit late, but it's never too late for a good meal. We've pulled over at a nice spot right next to the river. We can hear the river running past, and yeah, just a all-round nice scenery on a very nice day. For lunch we have some chicken that we chopped up. We're going to add some Jimmy sauce, and then we're going to get some cheese and a few other things and do some chicken wraps, nice and easy. So should be good, and hopefully after that we've got a bit more energy and we can keep going again.
With lunch gulped down and a new injection of energy, we head out on foot with a tripod to see if we can get a ground squirrel or two to round off another fantastic day. Ground squirrels are not fans of mud, so we aren't overconfident about our chances.
It looks like they're holes. It looks like the mud actually washed down their holes, so that might be why they're not coming out. They probably have a bit of housework to do, fixing everything up before they can actually appreciate food and stuff.
Eventually though, we do spot one, nice and close, and the Panthera does the business.
Oh my goodness. Panthera strikes again. Ground squirrel from very close, probably 15 meters, something like that. In the head, straight down, nothing more to say. It's about 4 p.m. now, so the light is slowly starting to die. The sun's probably 20 minutes away from going over the horizon. But we're going to take a walk along this damn wall with the Panthera and the tripod. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 more squirrels. We know there are plenty here, but with all this rain they've been very slow to come out. But surely they've got to come out at some point to feed, so let's see if we can get another one, maybe 2 more. I think I got him. Yeah, he's dead. That's a long shot and a small animal off a tripod, 120 yards in, I'm guessing maybe 5-6 mile an hour wind. Sun's just dipped below the horizon now. I want to head back to the camp, pack up a few more things, and then we're going to come out somewhere around here and camp. There's actually so many opportunities here for a spot to camp. There's just so much flat open space, so we'll find a spot. It's been a good day of hunting. Day's not finished yet, but as far as the shooting goes, I think we're going to put the guns away, call it an evening. Stick with us, we're going to have a fun evening tonight. We have some cool plans for dinner tonight. We're going to do the usual braai meat. We've got pork rashers. We'll spice these up and put them on the grid. We've got some lamb chops. That already is probably more than enough for us. But we've also got some wors. And I know the normal thing to do with wors is just put on the braai grid and cook it like that. We're going to do something different with this wors. We're actually going to cut it open, take the insides out, and put it between two wraps to make a quesadilla with a bit of cheese and some other stuff. I know you might also ask, why waste wors in this? Why not just use mince? Well, mince is mince. It doesn't have spices and stuff in it already. It doesn't have necessarily the right amount of fat. Wors does have that already. Probably going to be way too much food, but it should be fun anyway. There you go, young lady. Enjoy. What makes wors taste good is that the casing on the outside keeps all the moisture in and keeps all the flavor in, and that's why it can stay so tender. In theory, even if we take the wors out of its casing now, the two sides of the quesadilla should keep the moisture in. If there's anyone from Mexico watching, please don't tear into me. We know nothing about Mexican food here in South Africa, so we are noobs at this. Let's use one piece of wors here at first. I'm going to cut it open, and then we're going to empty out the meat from inside the casing. I guess we don't want to make it too thick because then it might not cook all the way through. You want it thin enough that it'll cook through without burning the outside of the wraps. And then the recipe I saw had some other sauce and stuff on here. We don't want to try that because we don't know if we've got the right sauces, so we're just going to put some, this is white cheddar, let's put this on here. I'm going to put a little bit of this spice on top, just a tiny bit. Perfect sized little braai grid for this. It's almost as if it was made for it. Let's see how this turns out. I'm kind of excited to try it. Well, there you go. It's done. Looks really good. Oh yes, look at that. Looks extremely good. It's weird, my brain can't process it because I'm tasting wors, but the texture's not wors. It is very nice, I will say that. So I'm glad we tried it. Definitely something we can do again. Makes a good starter.
For the main course, we have pork rashers, lamb chops, and the rest of the wors. Way more than we could ever finish, to be honest. And as is normally the case out here in the bush, we get to bed feeling 110% refreshed and fully content with life under the African sky.